Yeah, right. Overtime changes everything, right? The rules are different, and the last 30 rounds go out the window. But this has been a game of T sides. And fact of the matter is, that's back-to-back rounds with GenG on the CT half. If they can find 3 here, then surely 1 is attainable. Furia, can they try and put 1 on the board in this half? What they were doing so well in regulation, crawling back from their knees on the T side. GenG just waiting in the wings. It's been back-to-back A rounds that have not gone too well for them. Nades going back over Banana, but nothing too considerable. Art is boosted up on top of the logs to spot for re-aggression. With that smoke, it can be common. GenG, 3 players here. There is still pressure being put on mid, so this is a gamble by GenG. No guaranteed information to play off the back of, but it's the right call to make, at least for now. The question is, do these players hang around? Som's on the second AWP as well. Smoke's coming in. He's got the utility to fight back.
Yeah, they'll trade the guns around a little bit.
He actually just has an M4 dropped at his feet, so he can just swap between those 2 weapons. That's actually a really smart play, considering it's the last round of overtime. Shuffle a gun over towards B, and you have a lot more versatility.
Also, it gives you the option. If you wanted to try and play mind games, you can try and fake that there's a 3rd player here firing off with one of those AWPs, but that's not the case. Instead, they'll have to hold this the old-fashioned way, and Blintet is cut down at the first hurdle. Som, the pressure's on him now, and he'll rally the call. 2 kills for him. Vinny's trying to hold the back line, and he does cut 1 man off.
Oh, no!
Daps. Oh, dear. This bomb's coming back towards him. He hears everything. Daps could win this round right now, and that's the bomb dropped. Vinny alone. He's grabbed it. He's running. He's running as fast as he can, but there's not enough time. GenG, 18-15. And Daps has got his stopwatch out as now they're back on match series championship point once again.
Those plane tickets to Yoshaping are already being booked in their name, it seems. Can Furia scratch that out? Can Furia put a stop to it? 3 rounds in a row needed on their CT side, and they struggled with it in regulation, Harry, putting 5 rounds to their name. If you recall, some of the only successful rounds that Furia had in that first half of regulation were those mid pushes, were the rounds where they could get in the face of GenG and force the engagements. Will that be the call? Will that be the play, the plan for Furia? Or do they not want to take that risk? It's known by GenG. They should be ready for it if it's the case, and they've got the AWP on automatic to hold on to the middle position. 2 AWPs for Furia. We didn't get to see that in regulation, but with overtime, anything is possible.
Oh, it really is. W for Furia, all it takes is 1 little mistake, and they are done. They cannot afford now to lose this opening duel. No one on Furia is going to want to be the man to give up this first kill. They'll all sit back. They're all playing passive, waiting for these fights to come to them. Vinny's going to come back towards this B-bomb site, try and join Henny here. Still so much time left on the clock. Re-smoke in towards top banana. Furia might try and vie for control here once again. GenG have backed up. They've taken this bomb away for the time being. 2 players starting to pressure top mid. That bomb still floating down towards the bottom of banana. Could go either way. And some noise has been made at A. They've seen a lot of utility. It has baited a 4th man around from B. GenG now storming towards this B site. Rotations around from Vinny. Another man on Speedway. First kill comes in from the AWP of Henny. GenG trying to get into the bomb site. Henny's been flashed in. The kills, it's chaos. It's pandemonium. GenG still have 2 players standing, and they're trying to get this bomb planted once again. Damage done on the spray, but it's not enough. And now it comes down to a 3v2 retake of this B-bomb site for match and series point.
Stalemate. Furia waiting. They need those rotations. They don't know if Banana's even clear. And Daps, he's seen an arm. He's seen a shoulder. He knows Art's coming around this corner. No flashbangs to get these CTs in, all utility gone. And out of the picture, Daps waits, and he misses a shot. Kusta's there to back him up. The time low, ticking down. Furia need the kills. Yuri's got the wall bang, but Daps, the last stand at the back of the site. He's got one. The bomb tapped. They have to stick it. Daps has won the round, and surely this is done. It is 19-15. Gen.G go flawless in overtime, and they are your DreamHack Open Anaheim champions.
Yeah, yesterday marks the 40th anniversary of the Miracle on Ice. Well, this is NA's mini Miracle on land, baby. They do it flawless. They don't drop a map. Gen.G are looking good. And man, what a way to end this event. They're going to be hoisting that trophy. And for players like Som, like Kusta, in this squad, their first LAN event, they'll be lifting that trophy high. Oh boy, the future might be looking bright for NA Counter-Strike. They'll take to the stage, handshakes all around. And now join me in a moment. Welcome to the stage, your DreamHack Open Anaheim champions, Gen.G!
Absolutely unbelievable run here by Gen.G, and you saw the person they let lift trophy first, Som. Unbelievable, his journey, his career in general, from the highest highs and the lowest lows, his time with his former team in MV, a thing of the past now. He has made a name for himself here on this stage.
MVP.
I mean, honestly, he's the MVP in my mind.
Not even close, yeah. Clear-cut MVP, that 3K to seal the deal right there on that B hit late. Oh my goodness. It looked like they were crumbling. I got a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie. But wow, the perseverance of this team, 175 rounds played over 6 maps.
A lot.
That is insane.
It is a lot of Counter-Strike that we saw indeed, and man, Sam Som, he is such a stud player in that server. You mentioned that he's an FPL player, he's a freestyle player, but who knew he could also be an anchor towards that B bomb site on multiple occasions, just shutting down Furia's attack, and it was just a collective effort. We were taking a look at that scoreboard, just evenly distributed all across the board. And I even noticed in this matchup, Kusta was like a gun delivery system. He delivered 2 guns in 2 separate instances, once to Bentet and once the other to Som. And it was just all around just teamwork, and it was beautiful to watch.
And there's so many cool plays throughout this entire game. I love the eco plays coming out of Bentet to hold down the B bomb site. Oh man, the plays, the calls from Daps in the first half of that Inferno game were so on point. Pulling rotates to B, immediately calling rushes up mid on the wrap, killing the rotator in spawn. Everything they did is just so impressive in my opinion. This was such a huge performance out of a young squad.
A few moments that were a little concerning at times, you know, maybe a little bit jittery as the score got closer and closer to that tie point, but they do end up coming out on top. We don't even go to a third map. They looked fantastic throughout their journey, and look at the smiles as well. They didn't just win a trophy here. They also punched a ticket to DreamHack Master Jean Chopin, so we will be seeing much more of this team.
Yeah, Bentet for sure. I love seeing Bentet win a tournament. All right, it's been a minute. I can't even remember. Have I? I don't even know. He has deserved this for so long, and you know, to have it on his first tournament coming to NA just makes me happy. It makes me think that, you know, in his head he thinks it's the right decision right now, which is all I wanted to see. And I'm excited for this team.
I am too. Yongshiping in just a few months and towards July, I believe, and just thinking about how these teams, this team and Gen.G can have that as a goalpost. And now, you know, I think they were talking about their confidence coming into this tournament, thinking they'll be okay with getting at a group stage, setting their bar really low. Now they've got to set that bar extremely high, because what we saw this weekend was amazing.
Now, I may have put this shirt on for a bit of a meme, but I truly believe in the program now. I am a fan through and through, 100%. I loved everything I saw from the team. Are there some things they can work on? Yes, but the ceiling is very high.
Yeah. I mean, first things first, we got to get Bentet some In-N-Out burgers.
Yes, 100%.
He's officially one of us now.
He's one of us. I mean, the crazy thing was it wasn't just their rifles, it wasn't just the op on automatic. They did it so frequently with pistols. They were not even just force buys, like pistol round wins. That was something we didn't see from Complexity, who fell in the other semifinal, who couldn't manage to really pick up many pistol rounds. Yeah. They were doing great in their pistol rounds.
And even on the pistol rounds they lost, it seemed like they got eco rounds or they did tons of damage on their eco rounds. I loved how much they saved guns. Pretty much everything Gen.G did throughout this entire event was very different from what I saw out of this core when they were on Cloud9 with Mixwell and Tent on the team also. This is such a different team to watch. I criticized that team beyond belief. I can't believe that this Gen.G team with the same core pulled off this win and just proved me wrong completely.
I gotta agree with you. It's the decisiveness, right? Coming out of this young Gen.G squad, especially towards that arch side on Inferno, that was like the key click in my mind. I'm like, this is a completely different Gen.G than all of DAP's lineups in the past. They were just so quick to execute right onto that A as soon as they realized there was 3 stacked towards that B. Those quick moves, those audibles in mid-rounds in such a high-pressure situation in the grand finals, it's not something you tend to see with these younger teams.
Now, looking at Furia, it's not like it's all sadness and tears. They played fantastic throughout the tournament as well. They still have a lot of things that they can look at and say, okay, we did this so incredibly well.
They did, yeah. I mean, this is a game that Furia, obviously, if you tell them right now, like, hey, you have nothing to hang your head on, they're not going to listen to it, right? They're definitely going to be sad that they lost this finals. I think we talked to Art before this event. He said his goal was to make the finals. That probably doesn't matter right now to him very much. But yeah, they've improved so much, right? We said they've innovated a lot of their maps. Their map pool looks deeper. All their players showed up throughout the entire event. It's just they ran out.
They did run out. But I still truly believe this is Furia 2.0. I think they've got a bright 2020 ahead of them. The preparation, the innovation from this weekend, it was spectacular. They need to keep on that road, though. Keep the foot on the gas pedal, and, you know, the next Open coming up, we should see them.
I mean, look at the performance there from Sam 2 in that last map. 50 total kills. I can see him smirking out of the side of my eye. He's over there nodding his head, laughing. He played fantastic in that last series, but all event long as well. But then everybody else did too. It wasn't just the Sam show. There was also Kusta coming in and chiming in. Automatic on the op.
Optimatic.
He looked actually like God-omatic again, like he was kind of coming back into his form. BenTeT looks fantastic as well. Even Daps, who isn't necessarily a player you typically profile for his stats, had a few clutch rounds for Gen.G.
Primary opper, Damien Daps Steele.
A name that's so good. Like we were talking about it, a name that might have had an alternative career in another timeline, but we do have some waiting for me over here on the interview couch. Samalama Ding Dong.
Hey man, how are you again?
Oh, it feels like it hasn't been that long since you were sitting in this position. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It must feel good to just finally lift that trophy.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
Sam, before we get into things, I just want to ask you a quick question. What was your first LAN and who took a picture of you for your HLTV profile picture at that LAN?
My first LAN, Fragadelphia, yeah.
Who took that great picture?
I think it was you.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Right, I totally forgot. Thank you for reminding me. How good does it feel to sort of shut up the haters at home who watched you in your previous teams and things didn't work out and they were ready to write off your career, to show up here and put in one of the best performances of any player we saw and then hoist the trophy?
Yeah, I mean, it obviously feels amazing to just, you know, lift a trophy in general. As for the haters, I don't really mind too much about them, you know. They'll just follow me wherever I go, and it's just something that's just in the esports scene, I guess. But I'm just honestly just playing my game with, you know, whoever I decide to play with. It's just like the haters are just gonna come with, you know.
I love the fact that you're basically just like accepting that this is just going to be something you're going to have to deal with.
Right.
The more prolific you become, the bigger the haters will become, the louder they'll become.
Right.
But you'll just continue to get better, so brush them aside.
Yeah.
Christine, Sean, you guys have some questions on the desk as well.
Yeah, my question is pretty simple. Hopefully you remember, in OT in that last round, did Kusta deliver you an A4 towards that arch? Or did you already, because you had an op, and then all of a sudden you had an A4.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the round, we had like 16K, or we had a lot of money, so I decided to buy an op and an M4 and just drop it all the way towards spawn. That way I could, you know, switch between the op and the rifle because we had that extra money, so it was just something that just kind of like a little side thing that we did. But yeah.
Okay.
So my question is, what's next for you guys? I'm not really sure what's on your guys' calendar next. Do you have any events planned? And also, like, how much freedom are you going to give yourself now that you're officially the MVP, you know? Like, you can probably literally do whatever you want and get away with it.
Considering how good I played or consistent I played throughout this event, I probably won't change anything like attitude or anything in the game wise. But I think what we have coming up next is either the minor or the Flashpoint League, which is something that we're looking forward to.
Was there any point during that second map when you guys are like, oh no, we're gonna go to a third map? Like maybe when it hits tie point, were you guys getting nervous going into that overtime at all?
Definitely not in overtime, because we knew, like, before that overtime started, we knew our money was pretty bad throughout the whole second half. So we honestly we knew going into overtime, we had 16K, we could do things we wanted, we had more chances to do what we wanted. I think definitely before overtime, though, we definitely had a little shock towards the end.
Well, somebody, I'm really happy for you. Congratulations on the big win.
Thank you.
I hope to see you guys do the same thing in Yanzhou.